What is up, PreMed STAR? It's Dr. Dale, the author of How to Raise a Doctor and the author of PreMed Mondays. Both books are available on Amazon.com, so grab a copy there. And of course, you're listening to the PreMed Mondays Mentoring Podcast. Super excited about this week because I'm going to be talking about one of the things that drags pre-meds down perhaps more than anything else, and that is belief in yourself. If you want to be successful, you have to believe in yourself. Check it out. Happy Monday, PreMed STAR. So, if you listen to this podcast on a regular basis, you know what I'm about to say. It is going to be a great week, right? We make PreMed Mondays on purpose on Mondays to try to get you pumped and motivated for the week, get you excited about the week, and tell you don't start the week off feeling down and looking sad. Start the week with a smile on your face, happy that it's Monday. Don't be one of those people who's like, oh, I can't wait till Friday. Say, no, it is Monday. I got some stuff to accomplish this week. Get up and get going, all right? Before we get into this week, I want to remind you guys, please do me a personal favor and subscribe to the podcast. If you haven't subscribed yet, just click that little button. The more subscriptions we get, the more we can get this podcast out to other people and helps out with the rankings and the ratings. So more people see it, we help more people. It's a win-win for everybody, all right? And share it. If you have a pre-med club, if you know pre-med students, if you did a summer program, email it out to everybody so everybody knows that this is available for them. The goal is to reach as many pre-medical students as possible and help you all be successful, all right? So, super excited about week 17. We're talking about belief in yourself, and some of you guys saw it. I got some good feedback from some of you, sent me messages and things about the blog that I wrote last week on PreMed STAR, and we talked about pre-med anxiety. And a big part of pre-med anxiety is lack of belief in yourself. So we're going to be taking that on. If you didn't read that blog, premedstar.com, check it out. That blog was from last week. And just yesterday, I think it was, Aisha on PreMed STAR, one of our superstar premedical students, wrote a blog as well. And I was going to try to pull it up. Let me pull it up really fast and tell you guys what the title of that blog is. When All Seems Bleak. So she wrote that blog. It's called When All Seems Bleak. So go on PreMed STAR and check that blog out. First of all, she's just a phenomenal writer. An absolutely phenomenal writer. So that's the first part of it. Second of all, the content is excellent. You know, and I commented on the post and I said, this is something that I can use in my stage, right? I'm through the pre-med journey. I'm through the medical school journey. I'm through the resident journey. I'm through the fellowship journey. I'm an attending physician. You know, I teach medical students. I teach a lot of people, right? But at this state in my life, the stuff she wrote down in that blog is applicable to me and I can still use it. So Aisha, thank you for writing that. That was amazing stuff you put in that blog, all right? Also, one more thing before we get started, I want to congratulate Christiana. Christiana won a Kaplan MCAT prep course from PreMed STAR because she won the invite raffle challenge. So you guys know every week you can send out, or not every week, anytime you can send out invites for your friends to join PreMed STAR. And anytime you send out an invite, we're putting your name in a raffle. So it's got to be a real invite though. If you're sending invites to yourself, that doesn't count, right? We catch on to that. So it's got to be a real invite. And every time you send out these invites to your pre-med club and you know, things of that sort, you get entered into the raffle. And that's actually how Christiana won. She had a lot of invites because I think she must have just blasted it to a pre-med club. It was good. Helps the site grow, helps more people benefit from PreMed STAR, and helps her because she got a free Kaplan MCAT prep course, which is worth, you know, a couple $1,000s. So Christiana will be sending you that course, and I do hope you do well on your MCAT. All right, so let's get into this week. So week 17, we're talking about believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. So I've been at this mentoring thing for quite some time now, and I say this over and over again. I'm going to say it again. Probably the biggest single thing that keeps pre-meds from being successful is lack of confidence, lack of belief in yourself. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. Pre-medical students dropping out, or pre-medical students not making up, not performing well, all because they don't have confidence in themselves. It's a recurrent theme. It happens all the time. You know, people say, oh yeah, it's pre-meds don't make it because of X, because of Y, because of Z. By and large, the number one reason I've seen pre-meds not make it is because they don't believe in themselves. And that's true for everything, even outside of medical school, right? Athletes, business people, no matter what you want to do, the biggest reason people don't make it is because they lack belief in themselves. They lack faith. They don't believe that they can do what they're going out to do. They look at other people and say, oh man, that person's so great. That person has it all. I can't do what they're doing, right? That's the whole grass is always greener on the other side. I like the way somebody put it. They said the grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. right? So that other person might be better than you because they're working harder than you are. Or maybe they're better than you just because, naturally they're gifted in a certain area and they're one step ahead of you. But that doesn't mean you can't work harder to catch up. I'm a basketball guy, right? So I'm going to use basketball as an example. Some of you may or may not know Muggsy Bogues, shortest basketball player to play in the NBA, 5'3". He was not gifted with height, but he had a very long and successful career in the NBA. Spud Webb, 5'7", was not gifted with height. He had a long, successful career in the NBA. Won a dunk contest. I'm pretty sure Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan were in that contest he won. I could be wrong. Fact check me on that. But I'm pretty sure he beat Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins in that dunk contest at 5'7", right? Wasn't gifted with height, but he didn't say, "Oh, I don't believe that I can't make it. I'm not as good as those other guys." He said, "No, I'm not gifted with height, but there are other things I can do to make myself valuable enough so I will earn the right to be able to play on this level with everybody else." The same token holds true for you. As a pre-medical student, you might think, "Oh, I didn't go to those awesome prep schools like everybody else did." Or for college, I didn't go to those top colleges like everybody else did. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'll tell you now, I'm a medical doctor. My patients don't ask me what school I went to. My patients don't say, "What med school did you go to?" They don't say what residency, what fellowship. My patients don't care. My patients want to know, do I have what it takes to take care of them? That's all they care about. I can tell them I went to Timbuktu. They'll be like, "Okay, cool, whatever. Do you know how to fix this problem?" Right? They don't care where I went to med school. Okay? So it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter anymore. It matters where you're going. And where you're going, in large part, is dependent on your mindset, where you think you can go. So my question to you is, do you think you can go into the field of medicine? Okay, good. You think it. Now, do you believe that? Whole different question right there. Do you believe that? Right? Whole nother level of thinking right there. To really believe something means you act like it's going to happen. You act accordingly. If you believe you can become a medical doctor, then you need to act in ways that people who are going to become medical doctors are acting. You need to believe in yourself. You need to have confidence. You need to do essentially all the stuff I've been talking about for the past 16 weeks in PreMed Mondays, plus everything else we'll be talking about for the rest of the, till we get to week 52. All these things are things that successful people do. Successful pre-meds do, first of all, but then in general, there's characteristics that successful people do in general that you're going to find in here, in this book, right? So if you believe you can become a medical doctor, do the things that people who are going to be successful do. That's critical. That is critical. And, another thing that I always say is, ask the question, how many people need to believe in you for you to be successful? Take a moment, think about it. How many people need to believe in you for you to be successful? The answer is one. And who is that one? That one is you. That one is you. I've done a lot of stuff, right? And people have said, "Oh, you can't do that. Don't bother doing that. Don't do that." I'm in the middle of doing one right now. We're planning a conference, which is probably going to be a pretty big conference. And people look at me curious, like, "Wow, can you pull that off? Can you pull it off?" Well, yeah, I can pull it off. It's not just me. I have a team. Yeah, we're going to pull this off, right? Because we believe we can do it and we think it's important enough. So we're going after it. So the question to you is, how many people need to believe? One. Who is that one? You. It is you. People are going to say, "Oh, you can't do it. It's too hard. This and that and that." And you're going to have all sorts of excuses why you can't do what you want to do. And then you might start letting that seep into your brain, seep into your mind. And when it seeps into your mind, it's going to mess you up. So I'm going to tell you now, don't let that stuff in your mind. Don't let that junk in your mind. Hear them, cool, shake it off. Somebody talks nonsense to you, says you can't do it. Okay, I hear you, whatever, shake it off. Go about your business. Be steadfast in what you're doing, right? You want to fill your brain with good, positive stuff. My wife and I, we went to something at our church last night, and it was actually about how do you talk to your children about the birds and the bees, how do you talk to your children about reproduction, things of that sort. And one of the things that the presenter said, and actually the name of the ministry, the organization that was doing it, is actually called, I think it's called Birds and the Bees. I think her name was Mary Flo. In case if any of you guys have kids and you want to do it, I'll give her a shout out because she did a good job. So, but they had a really great demonstration at the end. She had the young lady, I think this young lady's name was Megan, who was talking this time. She had a sponge, and she said, brains are like sponges. It's going to fill up with something, put it in a moist environment. It's going to fill up with something, right? So you want to make sure that you're filling your brain up with positive stuff. This was her example was about filling your kid's brain with the right stuff. But, what I took from that also is you want to make sure you're filling your brain up with positive things. So, when you're driving to work, when you're exercising, when you're driving to school, when you're doing whatever, you want to make sure your brain is being filled with positive things that are going to be edifying, that are going to help you grow, give you confidence, teach you how to believe in yourself, positive things, right? So think about that as a sponge. That sponge is getting soaked up with positive wetness, positive water, things that are telling you how to get better, things that are motivating you and encouraging you to get better. That's what your sponge is filling up with, right? And that's good. So what happens when you have a really soaked sponge, a sponge that's really soaked and wet? It's hard to fill it up with anything else, right? Because it's already soaked and wet. So you want to fill yourself with the right stuff. Because if you're not filling your brain up with positive stuff, all this other nonsense from people who don't know any better is going to start soaking that sponge up. You want to make sure your sponge is soaked with the good stuff. It's soaked with the fine wine. It's soaked with the, whatever beverage you like, the good stuff. You don't want it to be soaked with that old, spoiled, rotten milk, okay? So keep that in mind. In other words, surround yourselves with the right people. Surround your brain with the right stuff you're listening to. Pay mind to what you're watching on television. Pay mind to what you're reading. Pay mind to what you're listening to in the car. These things need to be positive things that teach you how to believe in yourself and teach you how to be confident in yourself. Right? And I'm not saying go off and become a narcissist and start idolizing yourself or whatever. That is not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you need to learn the power of positive thinking. Norman Vincent Peale, he wrote that book, The Power of Positive Thinking. And that's been a great book for many successful people since that book came out. But learn that, because those things are going to teach you how to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to be a good doctor. You're just not. You got to believe in yourself. You have to have confidence at every step of the way, when you're in your classes, when you're filling out your application, after you submit your application, once you start the first day of medical school, when you're taking your boards exams, when you graduate medical school, when you start residency, when you're taking your residency exams, after you finish, when you're taking care of your first patient, all that. You have to always believe in yourself at every single step of the journey. Because when you stop believing in yourself, everything can fall apart. All right? Everything can fall apart, and you don't want that to happen. With that said, I know it's not that easy. With that said, I've doubted myself at times, right? And it's not easy. It's rough. It's a difficult journey. F's might come. You might have to retake your class 3 times. Might not pass the MCAT. Might take the MCAT 5 times and not pass it. It's difficult. I get it. I know it's difficult. But I'm still telling you, you have to find a way to be around the right people who are going to help you believe in yourself. Because anything can be overcome. You can overcome it. You just have to find a way to overcome it. Got to find a way to overcome it, all right? All right. So with that said, let me tell you guys what the challenge for this week is. Challenge for this week is to write down an affirmation statement, a statement of confidence demonstrating that you believe in yourself, and share that with your accountability buddy. So literally write it down, a statement of confidence saying that you believe in yourself, and share it with your accountability buddy. And I know you might think it in your head and you might say, okay, that's cool, I got it. But when you write things down, there's power in writing. There's power in the written word. If you write it down, there's power in that. I don't know why. I don't know how it works, but it's a whole different level of success for people who write things down compared to people who just think things down. So really, literally, take a moment and write it down and share it with your accountability buddy. All right. Let me remind you guys, we do have a webinar for PreMed STAR coming up this Thursday. It is October 11th. It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time. And a lot of you guys who are on PreMed STAR know Auburn Skakel. So Auburn is a medical student, first year medical student at Western Michigan, Homer Stryker School of Medicine. And she's going to be talking to us, taking your questions about the transition to medical school. So that's big, right? Finish undergrad. And Auburn actually has some gap years. So she did some work first. And now she's transitioning to medical school. So figuring out, how do I make that successful transition? What is it like? There's something that you guys are going to want to hear because it's important stuff, critical stuff. If you can figure it out early before you start med school, that's going to help you save so much time and do so much better once you get into medical school. We're going to put the link down to register for that webinar down below. So go on it, click on it, take that link, send it to your pre-med club, send it to all your friends, and make sure everybody knows about the webinar. All right. Okay. And for next week, the topic is going to be 5 keys to maximize group study time. You remember last week, we talked about the keys to maximize self-study time. Next week, we're going to be talking about 5 keys to maximize group study time. And that's important because a lot of people get together for study groups and waste a whole lot of time. All right, so that's going to be week 18. All right. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. I am on PreMedStar.com. Send me a message. Don't hesitate at all. That's what I'm there for. I love you guys, and I will see you online.